In this video, I'm going to quickly explain how this entire train accident happened in the Indian state of Odisha and who is responsible for it. I'll try to explain the entire incident in a simple manner so that you will be easily able to understand how it happened and what could be the main reason behind it. The first thing that you need to know is that this incident happened in the state of Odisha and more specifically in the district of Balasore. Balasore is the last coastal district of Odisha because after that you technically enter West Bengal at Kharagpur station. Balasore was previously called Baleshwar. What happened is that on the 2nd of June, on Friday at 6:55 p.m. in the evening, a massive train accident occurred. There were 3 trains involved consisting of 1 cargo train and 2 passenger trains. Now let me explain this accident with this drawing. There were 4 tracks. Let's name them 1, 2, 3, 4. The first track is the loop line. Now what is a loop line? Basically you can think of this as an extra single railway line that is often located at or near a railway station. And the purpose of this single railway track is to provide a parking space for a train so that if 2 trains are going in the same direction, then one of them can move into this loop line and wait while the other train can overtake and bypass. Now this loop line will have an entry point and an exit point. At both points, there will be an interlocking system. Basically, a machine or a mechanism is placed on the track that shifts a small piece of the track, allowing the train to transition onto a different track. This is all part of the railway signaling. This is how complex railway lines work. Now, it is important to understand that the train's direction is not determined by the driver's choice. Rather, it is predetermined by the layout of the railway tracks. So the main function of an interlocking system is to set and lock routes related to each train in order to ensure safe movements along the track. Now over the years these interlocking systems have changed due to technological development. So there is a mechanical interlocking system where you must have seen those big levers which are physically connected with wires and rods. You have to manually pull them. And then there is a computer-based interlocking system. Now let me explain the incident. So on the first track, which is called the loop line, there was already a goods train parked. And if you have ever been to Balasore railway station, that railway station has 4 platforms. Now what happened on 2nd June is that a train named Shalimar Chennai Coromandel Express, train number 12841, departed at 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon from Shalimar railway station in Howrah, West Bengal. It was destined to reach Chennai Central railway station in Tamil Nadu at 5 p.m. in the evening the next day. So the train started from Shalimar, then Santragachi, after that Kharagpur, then entered the state of Odisha, then reached Balasore railway station. And after that the train must have travelled for about 20 to 25 kilometers, and before reaching a railway station called Bahanaga Bazar, this train left its main track and entered the loop line, which was not its designated main track, and collided with a goods train that was already sitting on the loop line. In the beginning, I told you that a loop line is an extra single railway line that is often located at or near a railway station. And the purpose of this single railway track is to provide a parking space for a train so that if 2 trains are going in the same direction, then one of them can move into this loop line and wait while the other train can overtake. Coromandel Express is a superfast train. As soon as it entered the loop line, it collided with a goods train that was sitting idle in the loop line. Now due to its high speed, the impact was heavy. The engine of the passenger train crushed the rear end coach of the goods train and went above it. Both the passenger train as well as the goods train were in the same direction because they were supposed to go in the same direction. It is just that the goods train was stationary and it was sitting idle in the loop line. The passenger train, that is the Coromandel Express, was already on its fixed main line to Chennai, that is track number 2. But then what happened was it moved on to the first track, that is the loop line, and collided with the goods train. Now after the collision, all the coaches of the passenger train were derailed, and it appears that around 15 coaches of the Coromandel Express were affected. The remaining coaches towards the rear, they were still moving on to the loop line, resulting in the formation of a zigzag pattern among the derailed coaches. Both the front and the rear ends of the train experienced an impact, contributing to this zigzag configuration. Now if you look at this picture, from the zigzag arrangement of the derailed coaches, it is evident that some of them fell onto the second and third main railway tracks, while the second track was designated for the Coromandel Express and no other train was expected on it. A few coaches of the Coromandel Express were found on the third track as well. At this point, one might assume that this tragic incident had reached its conclusion. However, another high-speed passenger train named Yashwantpur-Howrah Superfast Express with train number 12864 was travelling on the third track towards Balasore and subsequently West Bengal. The engine of this train collided with the derailed coaches of the Coromandel Express. Multiple coaches of the Bangalore-Howrah Superfast Express with train number 12864 were derailed and toppled onto the neighbouring tracks. Now both the passenger trains were moving at a speed of 128 km per hour and 116 km per hour respectively. Now to summarize this incident, only one train, that is Coromandel Express, was directly involved in the accident. The other two trains, the goods train and the Yashwantpur-Howrah Superfast Express, were not active participants but rather became collateral damage in the incident. This triple train collision in Odisha was India's worst rail disaster in 28 years. Now let's go to the technicalities of this accident. As I said, there is always an interlocking system for changing tracks. Now why would a passenger train receive a signal to enter into a loop line where already a goods train is parked? Indian railway officials have given a clean chit to the passenger train driver, and luckily both the train drivers of the passenger train are alive, but the condition is serious. According to the statements of the train driver, he proceeded with the train after receiving a green signal and was travelling at a speed of 128 km per hour, which falls within the allowed speed limit of 130 km per hour. These details have been verified through the locomotive logs. There is no overspeeding and no fault of the driver. And now the only question remains, what happened to the interlocking system? When the driver and the co-driver is saying that they got the green signal and they were moving in their own designated main track, then how did the passenger train move into the loop line? It can only happen if somebody from the cabin of the railway station must have physically moved the levers. Only then the track points are going to move. And once you set the track, it gets locked. Only then the signal will be green. And that is what the drivers saw, the green signal. The entire Coromandel Express was supposed to move on its own fixed track. And look at the speed of the Coromandel Express train. It was at 128 km per hour. That means the driver had no clue that this train would move into the loop line. But unfortunately, the train did go into the loop line. There are two possibilities to consider in this situation. First, it can be assumed that there could have been a disruption or damage to the connection between the signal light and the interlocking system. However, it is important to note that such occurrences are uncommon, especially considering the fact that numerous other trains had previously travelled along the same route without any issues. Therefore, attributing the incident solely to a faulty green indicator does not carry significant weight in terms of reasoning. So the first possibility, that there is a disruption or damage to the connection between the green signal and the interlocking system, does not hold significant weight. The second possibility is that the error or a crime could have originated from the railway signal man or the lineman responsible for operating the levers to interlock the tracks and signals. It is quite possible that someone may have intentionally altered the positions of the levers a few seconds before the engine of the Coromandel Express entered the loop line. And this possibility is also termed as sabotage. That is why the Indian Railway Board has recommended a CBI inquiry, because the interlocking system that is present here is an electronic interlocking system. It's a computer-based electronic system. This system is error-proof and fail-safe, so the only possibility is outside intervention. That is why the Indian Railway Board has recommended a CBI inquiry. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw has said criminals have been identified and a sabotage angle is being probed. They have ruled out the driver's error. So the two possibilities that I've explained, the second possibility is more likely to have happened. The Indian Railway is an organization that follows very strict protocols, where even if the driver overlooks a signal or fails to maintain the required distances indicated on either side of railway tracks, the loco pilot will be suspended and there will be an investigation against him. This clearly indicates that something is fishy. So it is a clear case of human signaling interference that caused the accident, which killed 275 people and left more than 1,000 injured. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you for watching it.